Hi, I'm Andrew, and this is my project called Save the Bees. So basically, the project revolves around the problem of the endangered bees right now. So a lot of these bees have been endangered for a while, and the past few years they've been in a continuous decline rather than seeing any improvement in population. And so we want to ask ourselves, what do the bees really have to do with us, and why is it so important to keep them alive and sustain them? Well, basically, bees are the main pollinators of over half our crops, and if we basically didn't have that pollination, we wouldn't have food. So, as of now, scientists and designers and engineers, we're all working together to approach this problem in an effective manner. And the solution would be artificial intelligence. As we know that technology has advanced greatly over the years, we should take advantage of these technological developments and implement them into basically a process of storing data for the bees and getting all their statistics, and finding a way to kind of reduce the numbers of bees that are dying from like trash and pollen and pesticides and pollution. So my mood board was basically just kind of influenced by a lot of these a specific artist actually on open processing named Oggy, who had these particle accelerators, these triangles, and I really wanted to kind of use this very aesthetic structural like code of his, which I didn't modify very much, so that to show that the potential beauty and capabilities that artificial intelligence has in collaboration with saving the bees. So going to the actual code, the program starts at an intro screen which gives the name of the project, Save the Bees, and it gives you the option to click anywhere to start. And from there, when you click, you're taken into the next intro screen, which displays some information about what's going on with the bees right now, and like why they are in decline, and what we need to be aware of and start doing in order to help them. And so the third screen loads up and it asks, "Bzz, are you ready?" And basically the game, actual game is about to initiate. And in the actual game, there are trash and sprays and pollen that the user, the bee, has to collect in order to achieve a high score in the game. So going to the actual code, I have several classes that were based off the pollen class, which was the floating ellipses that I was updating inside the classes as well. And so as you can see in my draw code, it's pretty clean. I wanted to leave it that way so that everything would be so clustered up. And next few codes you're gonna see are the classes that I have, which are basically kind of just duplicates of each other, but I added a little variation to them to add more effects to the game. And so that's the remainder of the code. And as you can see in game state, we have our objects and classes that we display here. So the AI, the trash, the spray. And yep, okay, let's get to the actual program. Alright, so I'm gonna have to play my own game. So the program runs off to this initial start screen, which is basically the first bit of Oggy's code that I've taken, and I sort of modified it so that it looks a little more aesthetic and to my personal desires. So we click, and we have this typewriter effect that I implemented so that the words are split up and like spurt out one by one, depending on the count, and we increment the count each time. All right. So now we'll begin the game. Now we want to try to avoid the spray cans and the trash and get as much of this. Oh, so we hit the trash and the game went to the game over screen, and now it'll display how many pollen you've collected, how much artificial intelligence you've gained, and your highest score is the total of those two. And also, at the very end, it gives you a little information about what's going on about the situation. So right now, the World Bee Project is working with Oracle to use artificial intelligence and cloud computing to help combat the dangerous decline in global bee population. So the partnership will employ the use of smart hives that record behavior in changing conditions. And the ambition is to develop data-driven best practices to aid keepers in providing the best possible and optimal circumstances for the continuation of healthy beehives. And so that concludes my presentation, my game. Thank you. And do you have any questions?